If you're just starting to build out your business on Shopify or you're thinking about it, watch this video first where I'll cover the 5 most common and expensive Shopify mistakes people make so you don't make the same mistakes. Hi, my name is May and I help makers, artists, and designers make a living from selling their handmade products online. Now, I've been selling on Shopify for many years now and there are no affiliate links in this video, but I just love them so much and I wish everyone would use them because they really do amazing for sales. Shopify is the pioneer for selling products online. No one can compete with them. So if you don't need any more convincing, then let's jump into the 5 mistakes, and I'm saving the biggest mistake for the end of the video, so make sure you stay to the end. The first mistake I see a lot of people make is having inconsistent photo sizes in their shop. The sizes themselves aren't the most important thing, but you definitely want to make sure your main image ratios are consistent from product to product. This makes your home page and your collection pages more organized and cohesive, and it just looks way more professional and trustworthy, which means strangers visiting your shop are more likely to buy because people buy from shops they know, like, and trust. If they don't feel they trust you, they probably won't buy. So don't give people any reason to distrust you. So I like using a square ratio photo size, but you can use whatever works for your type of product. A marketplace site like Etsy or Amazon forces all of their first or main images for every product listing to be the same image ratio regardless of the shop. This makes everything line up and is just a better look. If your other images besides the main image is a different ratio, that's fine, but I still prefer to keep them all the same to streamline the photo editing process. Mistake number 2. Please don't spend any money on a paid theme if you're just getting started. You don't need it. I almost tripped up over this too with my new print-on-demand shop that my husband now runs. When we were just building out that Shopify site, I was so tempted to buy a fancy, highly rated theme that would have cost me hundreds of dollars, and I hadn't even made a single sale back then yet. Save that money to put towards marketing instead, because no one's going to see your fancy paid theme on your site if you don't have a plan for getting traffic, right? Shopify has a number of amazing free themes that can perform just as well. For that new business I started, we used the minimal theme, which was totally free, and get this, we've made millions of dollars with it, with a free theme. Once you've made some sales and you feel you're ready to level up, then by all means, upgrade your site with a paid theme. You just don't have to start with one. Mistake number 3. So many people have this block. I know Shopify isn't the cheapest solution out there at $29 a month, right? But I also don't want you to compare Shopify with any of its alternatives based on just pricing alone, because Shopify wins at every other area. Shopify is faster, more secure, provides better service, is more intuitive to use, is more features, and it has ultimately more powerful at making sales for you than any of its competitors. For just a few dollars more than other options out there, I think that's a really fair trade. However, I also want you to think of it in this way. How many products do you have to sell every month to pay off the $29 Shopify fee? For me, I just need to sell one necklace. Use that as motivation to start treating your business like a real business and focus on marketing and getting traffic. Unlike a marketplace site like Etsy, Shopify doesn't come with a pre-built-in audience. You have to be solely responsible for getting people to come to your site. As long as you expect that and have a plan for generating traffic, you'll be fine. But the mistake I see is people expecting to just set up shop and not lift a finger at getting traffic and somehow expecting sales to follow. It doesn't work like that. And if you're wondering then, why not just sell on Etsy? Well, I have a whole video comparing Etsy and Shopify and why I believe Shopify to still be the superior option here that you can watch later. Next, mistake number 4. I see this with virtually every new Shopify store because I review a lot of them from all the emails we get, and some of them are for our Assail Day students' websites too. Many newer Shopify themes make it a default setting to use dynamic checkout buttons. In theory, it sounds really cool. Shopify checks every visitor to see if they've got Amazon, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and so on. And depending on what that visitor has, Shopify will dynamically show an additional payment method as a button on your product listing pages. Unfortunately, this button is super attention grabbing, very distracting, which is normally a good thing, but this is bad for several reasons. One, you actually want people to buy more than just one thing from your your shop. So adding to cart is actually the action you want visitors to take, not to check out right away with just one item. 2, this bypasses Shopify's built-in checkout pages, which means you cannot do any remarketing on abandoned carts. This is when someone enters their email address on the checkout page, but for whatever reason didn't follow through on placing their order. The majority of people shopping on your site will do this, so you need a way to reach back out to those folks to remind them to complete their purchase. And you can't do this if people are clicking on the alternate payment options. So keeping these dynamic checkout buttons on in your product listings is proven to lower conversion rates and sales overall. So make sure you turn those off. And the biggest mistake of them all, which can cost you a lot of money, is mistake number 5. I made this mistake myself when I first moved over to Shopify from a self-hosted e-commerce platform called PrestaShop, and I lost $2,000, probably more. I talk about that experience in detail in another video that I'll link here, and frankly, no one at the time was talking about this, and I wish there were because it could have saved me a lot of money. But basically, certain platforms like Shopify have a feature called payment capture method. When a customer enters their credit card information on your site when they're checking out, 2 things have to happen. First, the payment method is authorized, and then second, the charge happens, which is where the payment is actually processed. With this feature, there is actually an option to do only one step automatically, and that second step is manual. This is the mistake I made. By selecting manual, if you've got this selected, you basically have to manually process the customer's payment within a certain time frame or you don't get paid. I recommend just selecting automatic capture for both steps so the customer is charged immediately when they check out. So it's one less thing for you to worry about. If you have any Shopify tips of your own you'd like to share, let me know in the comments. And also, was this helpful for you? I hope it was. And if so, please give this video a thumbs up. It will really help. And subscribe if you want to learn more about how to sell your work online. And then stay on to watch this next video on the screen for more helpful handmade business tips. Thanks for watching.